Our life is a gift from God. What we do with our life is a gift back to God. What do you think? Morning, everybody. Welcome. The days are winding down. It's starting to get a little colder. We're starting to hedge into Christ the King, Advent, and of course Christmas, and the end of ordinary time. So join me, won't you, as we take a look at this week's Gospel, Parable of the Talents, and see one aspect of how we can make some connections to our life. Our life is a gift from God. What we do with our life is a gift back to God. What do you think? Agree? It's something I came across years ago. A guy named Leo Buscai, an educator from USC. When I was in teacher's college, he was all the rage. He used to travel the country doing workshops outside of his teaching load about living, loving, and learning. Life is a gift. Sometimes we forget that, especially during COVID. And I think it's also true that what we do in our life is a gift back. It's a gift back to God, it's a gift back to others, it's a gift back to the universe, even the world. Giving back or paying it forward in our flashback from 20 years ago is a way of developing our talents, enhancing them, and then maybe leaving the world a little better than it was when we found it. And that's what comes up in the parable. In some ways, that's what Jesus is telling us.
The one who has received 5 talents came forward bringing an additional 5. He said, "Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I have made 5 more." And the one who received 2 talents also came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I have made 2 more."
The parable speaks of expectations this weekend. Expectations scare people sometimes. But I think there's nothing wrong with expectations. There's nothing wrong with having high hopes for life or even for other people. But there's something that comes with it. And I think that's part of what scares people. What comes with expectations is taking risk and always hard work. If we're truly going to live into our gifts, if we're truly going to lean into the gifts and the talents that we've been given, it's going to take risks. We're going to have to stretch ourselves to reach out, to get out of our comfort zone, to get out there, to get muddied, to get dirty, to get bloodied or beaten up a little bit so we can grow. We gotta take risks so we can grow into the gifts that God intended for us and the gifts we need to share with the world. And that's hard sometimes. To learn, we have to unlearn. To grow, we have to let go or die to some part of ourselves. We know this because we only truly learn when we make mistakes. Remember the magic school bus. It's a show you watched or maybe your kids watched. And Miss Frizzle, right? She was great. She would always tell her students, get out there, get messy, make mistakes. Because she knew that was the way to grow our talents. That was the way to learn. And that's what Jesus' parable is pointing us to this week, at least in some part. Jesus acknowledges the reality that the person who's given 5 and uses them and takes risks doubles it. It's a lot like love. The more you give it, the more it comes back. But again, it takes risks. You could have your heart broken. You could be disappointed. You could be hurt. That's very true. And the one who was given 2 talents, different talents no doubt, but gifted none the same, he or she takes those talents, takes a risk, gets out there, gets muddied, and doubles them. They stretch, they grow, they leave their comfort zone, they take risks, and they double their talents. But the person who is given 1 talent and buries it, who settles, who feels scared or paralyzed or doesn't take the risks, stays safe, they lose what they were given. They lose their talent. It isn't developed, it isn't engaged, it withers and it dies. That's tough. High expectations. Our life is a gift. What we do with it is a gift back. So perhaps this week, as we make some connections from this reading to our lives, we can ask God to help us see and recognize our talents, to have the courage to take the risks so we can develop them, and the patience and the wisdom to persevere so we can see the process through. And then we can hear, "Welcome, my good and faithful service. Welcome and share in my joy." Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for walking with me. If you liked it, please pass it on to a friend or subscribe. Peace.